Chapter 28. The Bigfoot team heard the whoops and screams of men, like during a cavalry charge in the Civil War, as a band of searchers advanced up the hill and approached the hunkered down team. The sharp crack of slugs flying overhead snapped limbs on the high trees. Turn on the lights! Billy screamed as he began illuminating flashlights and everything else that would glow. Why? Harrison said, but still doing as he was told. We don't want them to think we're Bigfoot. As the bullets continued to whiz like meteors, Billy realized something else. Get low! Behind trees! Lay down! As they did, a line of men appeared at the tree line and slowed to walk toward them. Tinker was in the front. You're not supposed to be here, Tinker yelled as he approached. The men had grown quiet. Billy said nothing as he rose, looking to the sheriff. I told you to leave. We left, Sheriff. You're not to be involved in this. Tinker's eyes had grown small and hard. We thought you just meant leave your group. We'll be glad to be on our way home. I ought to take you to jail, Tinker continued. When Billy didn't respond, the sheriff added, interfering with an ongoing investigation. We were only trying to help with your investigation, Billy lied. But we'll do as we're told. You have about 1 minute to get out of here. If I see you again, you're all going to jail. We'll see if your Hollywood folks can help. I doubt it. Billy said nothing and motioned for the team to collect its gear, and they immediately began to walk down the mountain toward Bald River Falls. Tinker had an afterthought before they were out of earshot. Did you see anything come by here? He asked. Billy looked at the other members. I didn't see anything, he said, shaking his head and wrinkling his mouth. Nothing, Rink said. The other members agreed with her. Nothing, Harrison said as he scratched his cheek. Billy recognized that move. He had been around Harrison for days. It was his tell. Scram! The team did so and didn't speak for more than a mile until they found themselves walking away from the trail below the falls and onto River Road. Covered in gear, weariness, and fatigue settling over the group, they resembled refugees stumbling to safety. Boss, I gotta rest, Robo said after a while, slowing to a stop and sitting on a boulder beside the now abandoned road. I think that's a fantastic idea, Billy agreed. He sat and took a deep breath, then assessed his troops. They all needed some rest. Maybe it was time to go home, no matter what Ed wanted. I have to tell you guys, Harrison said, and everyone looked at him. Did anyone see anything? Really? Billy looked at Rink, whose eyes had grown wide, her lips slightly parted as if she wanted to say something but couldn't. Rink was right. Billy did want to believe. Maybe his judgment had been clouded by hope. It was so dark, Billy said. He stopped before going further. They walked by us, Robo said, staring at the ground in front of the boulder, his shoulders hunched inward in confession. Most of the time, Robo made his comments in a defiant manner, as if to say, this is the truth, doubt me. This time was so different. You saw something? Billy asked. No, I felt it. There was more than one. I smelled it too, Harrison continued. I thought to myself that there must be more than one. I thought I was dreaming. Rink? Billy asked. She sat there, frozen, thinking, now unable to look into their eyes. She started and stopped. I didn't see anything. Billy revealed his disappointment in turning away as he looked at the river on its endless quest for the ocean. Billy, Rink said, and waited for him to look back at her. I think something walked past. I can't say what it was. Maybe it was ghosts. Monroe County Sheriff vehicles, 3 of them, appeared in the road ahead. coming in the team's direction, their tires emitting an ominous crunching as they approached. When they drew up alongside the team, the window of the lead vehicle slowly descended. It was one of the deputies they had interviewed. The thought that they were about to be taken to jail crossed Billy's mind, and having this particular officer arrest him brought a deep, dull pain in the middle of his chest. "Get in," the deputy said. "Why? We're leaving," Billy told him. "We're giving you a lift," the deputy said, and finally allowed a smile to seep out. When Billy hesitated for a moment, the man added, "Hurry before Tinker sees you. He's pissed." Petra began loading equipment in the second car, while Billy threw gear into the trunk of the lead vehicle. "Up here or back there?" Billy asked. The officer smiled. "Up here. Robo might have to ride in the back, though." Billy glanced over his shoulder and saw Robo looming down. "You okay with that, Robes?" "I think I'll be all right." The cruiser smelled faintly of antiseptic and air freshener, and Billy passed on the notion to ask why. He didn't really want to know. Robo wore his customary expression of faint amusement yet slight disdain. "Boss, it is sort of claustrophobic knowing you can't open the doors," Robo said, moving his eyes from side to side and sitting upright as if the slightest movement might make him ill. "I'll climb out and open the doors if needed, big man." The comment seemed to suffice, and Robo turned to stare out the window as they began the descent along River Road. "So, where are we going?" Billy asked. He had seen movies where deputies deposited unwanted visitors at the city limit sign, which in this case might be the county line. "I'm taking you back to the motel," the deputy told him. "But listen, I would pack and grab the first flight out." Billy waited without speaking. "Look, Tinker's gonna find something, some way to lock you up. Probably try to scare you. It's trouble. You guys don't need that." Billy still said nothing. "You folks are trying to do your job." "I'm sorry." Now it was Billy's turn to look out the window. He thought of Ed and the show. Maybe it was for the best. His next thoughts brought him to anger. They had done nothing wrong. This was their chance to possibly find Bigfoot. He wasn't about to let the opportunity slip through his fingers. "Thanks for the advice," Billy said. They drove toward the hotel. When the team had unloaded their gear, the deputy shook Billy's hand and wished him luck. The group watched them drive away. "What do we do, boss?" For a moment, Billy was at a loss for words before he finally said, "Let's chill out for a little while. Let me call Ed. Let me think." "He can't just tell us to leave," Harrison said. Billy turned to the actor and waited. "I mean, Tinker. You can't just tell someone they have to leave town. We haven't done anything." It was a surprising comment that spoke volumes. "I'm with him," Robo said. "I say we find Bigfoot." Billy did not want to go to jail. He also did not want to leave. "Okay, meeting in my room in 1 hour." "What are we going to do, Billy?" Rink asked quietly as the group began collecting gear. It wasn't every day an Indiana Jones quote could be used, but this was a great opportunity. "I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along," Billy said.